Hi guys, Spink here. This is episode 45 of Let's Learn Ageod Civil War II. We are in late July 1862. Been a little bit of time since I've looked at this. I think a week or so, I guess. It's Monday night, 8th of December, which is actually a rather important anniversary if you happen to be a Beatles fan. I didn't do anything yesterday or this weekend. This weekend, actually, I spent all my time doing making my first tutorial, my first formalized tutorial, and that was the command and control tutorial. Trying to gather up all of the pieces out of this series so that folks who are actually looking at how to play the game can get everything about a particular subject in one spot and not have to dive through hours and hours of what else is going on. So, and I think that's something I'm going to continue. We're at the one year into the game here, so it might be of some value to kind of take stock of where we're at. I have thought about if I'm gonna continue this particular series or not. As a Let's Learn, I don't know how much additional value there is to continue it. It's pretty much a more of a regular Let's Play at this point. Although I think no matter what I do, I'm always going to over-explain everything that I do. It's just kind of part of me. So let's take a look at where we're at. I got to refamiliarize myself with this. I did went and rewatched the previous episode. So we're out here in Arizona. We have Canby's force has taken Tucson and is moving almost down here, and we get this, and then these guys down here are toast. We'll take out these two little towns here. I don't know that this force is going to advance very far. Where could we actually go that's of any value? We can try to come down here to Austin and Houston and whatnot. I don't know how viable that is. We'll have to kind of take it under advisement, as they say. In the central area here, Kentucky. Now I think I'm behind the curve here as far as where history was, because I think by this point the Union had already taken Nashville here. But I'm not sure, and I know I have definitely been overcautious, and especially with regards to weather. That the weather hits you take during the severe weather is not nearly what I had thought it might be, and also with regard to how much supply can be moved through various areas. I think I've been overcautious with that, and especially underestimating how much supply the Confederacy can move up through there. I think it would be of some value to do another Let's Play from the Confederacy's side, just to kind of see how things go from that side. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. We'll see. I am going to do additional tutorials. I've started that new tutorial series. So if I recall, Walker's force here got himself into a bit of a bind, and we guessed right and moved Pope up here to bring him in, and ended up having putting a bit of a hurt on Walker. So that's something we're definitely going to follow up with Grant now that he's healed up. I need to make sure I have got all of the game options set back how they're supposed to be, because I've been messing with all kinds of stuff while I've been doing my tutorials. Historical attrition, yeah, we got to get that up. Automated replacements off. Battle planner off. Activation all the way over there. Randomized general was there. This is here. Easy supply off. I've got the AI off. That would have been fun. Why ain't they moving? Activation bonus. We had that off. AI detect bonus. Of course, I think that's where we're at. I might have to go back and look at episode 1 so I can recall what I'm doing here. That looks good. Alright. I've gone back to that beta patch because that's what I was using for the tutorial, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt to keep uninstalling and reinstalling stuff. It's a release candidate 3 now, so it's supposed to have taken care of some of those crash issues. We'll see if we still end up with those odd battle results. Apparently what that appears to be is some kind of an error in the retreat logic where stacks just aren't retreating like they're supposed to. Anyway, oh, I forgot to start my timer. I'm supposed to start a timer when I do this. Alright, we're going to assume that I've been chattering on for 10 minutes, so we'll let that count down to 20. Okay, let's see, we went through all of these. So let's just go, okay, let's see where we're at. Now we have Jackson maybe trapped here. I don't know if we've got him trapped or he's got us trapped. It's a bit, we're kind of like caveman hunting a mammoth here, you know. It's like which one of us is hunting who here? Okay, so we've got various levels of entrenchment on these guys. We're moving this particular division over to join up with McDowell's Corps, who has 2 divisions. We brought this fella in, did for any particular reason? I don't believe so. Mansfield, we were going to promote Mansfield. Did we do that? Let's make sure we got Mansfield flagged. Oh, did he already? I thought he was supposed to be eligible for promotion. I thought we had Mansfield eligible for promotion. I may be misremembering, but I don't think so. Let's see. Oh, I was at the end of the last episode, I was talking about this March to the Sound of the Guns things and how I needed to research that. Well, I did because I had to for the tutorial I did. Corps will move to reinforce any of the corps from their from the same army that are being attacked if they are adjacent to each other, and it is dependent on the military control of the region and the cohesion level of the various units. So that's the March to the Sound of the Guns things. And because it's based on military control, I think that's something that you're really going to see more as a defensive measure. Offensive, you're really just going to move the various army corps into wherever you want them to be attacking and not really relying on that. So it's going to be more of a case like, say, where these 3 corps we have spread out here in this line. If any one of these is attacked by anybody, there's a good chance that at least one of the other corps will come to their aid. So we'll have to see how that works out. And they're supposed to move back after the combat to where they were at. So if you do have kind of a defensive line, the whole March to the Sound of the Guns thing isn't going to leave a hole in your line. So we had a big chunk of force here. Army of the Shenandoah, Army of the Potomac, down here. And this is one corps. Was it? Yeah, it's a corps of one of these armies. Potentially, I assume it's basically the entire strength of the Army of the Shenandoah is in one corps, and it happens to be right here. I think that's what's going on. Let's see. Do we want to move? You know, I think we're just gonna kind of hold Jackson at bay here. What if he was to go through here? Would that be a big problem for us? I think it probably would, wouldn't it? I don't really have anything to block him. I don't really want to move away from Richmond to do that. Okay. Now I did, if you recall, if you're sharp-eyed and actually want to back up in the video, you can back up and see which of these cores were actually activated and which weren't. Because of their little envelope icons here will have been dark brown. But since I switched the option here, I put this game option, the activation rule, up to this one that we've been doing all along, if you recall. All of them are going to appear to be activated. I covered activation in my new tutorial, the command and control tutorial. I don't think I talked about it in the Let's Learn at all. Maybe tangentially, I don't recall though. But all of these are going to appear to be activated because of that that option we're using. So I could decide to say, hey, let's take these 3 cores and I'll throw them in against Jackson here and kind of roll the dice there. But I don't know how many of these actually ended up being activated. I'm imagining not many, because you know I think they're influenced by McClellan, and he's probably the only one involved in this game who's more cautious than me. Okay, so let's just let's see, what else did we have? We had shields down here. I'm sorry if this is awfully slow to you guys, but I really do need to kind of refamiliarize myself with this. Oh, and by the way, thank you to those who have subscribed to my channel here. I believe I'm up to 13 now. Much appreciated. I'll try not to let it go to my head. One thing I did do, since it looks like this is something I might actually keep doing, I just this evening, actually just 5 minutes before I started up this, I ordered a new microphone, so hopefully I can improve the sound quality a bit of my yammering on here, have a little less hiss and pops and etc. So anyway, forging ahead. Let's see what we got here with our units. I'm just going to go through the R key or the E key here and see what we're dealing with. Fremont is back here doing what? Oh, we kind of came back here when Polk came up and we retreated and then Polk disappeared. That's what that was all about. What do we have? Oh, what is this? Oh yeah, they did a demonstration here. Alright, when we get to the part of the turn where we do the regional decisions, we got to remember to do something to counter that. Alright, what do we have here in St. Louis? I think we've got plenty of force here to keep that. What would we do with... Let's see what Johnson's or Fremont's radius is here. I'm selecting the army stack here, and I'm going to hold down shift. Oh yeah, see we're out of range of our cores, so I'm not entirely sure what that's going to do for us. Our we don't suffer that out of command penalty, or out of chain of command penalty. We're still... Oh, this guy's not part of it, right? Yeah. Oh, so presumably what we're doing, since we're out of that range, is any bonuses or whatnot that we would get from Fremont, we won't get because we're out of that range. That's what I'm guessing at this point. Something I probably ought to look into a little more. What are we doing with this guy? We have a division under Curtis. Is that Curtis? Yeah, Curtis. With a couple batteries and 3 regiments. Or brigades, rather. Let me, come on. Alright. Gotcha. Bang. That looks better. I think we'll just keep these guys back as a reaction force. Let's forge ahead. We have this additional Indian Home Guard, HG. I assume that's what that stands for. What do we have here in this? We've got room. Plenty of room. We can... so let's take... we want to go after Fort Scott with, who's this, Ricketts? Was that his name? Yeah, Ricketts. How's he doing on supply? Supply's awesome. Okay, so his cohesion, not bad. What's the weather doing? It's all clear. Looks real good out here. Okay. Okay, so I want to attack this unit. I don't really know what it is because our detection value here is a 4. This guy must have a, oh, his hide value is a 3. So he is, a cavalry force generally has a fairly high hide value. So that would tend to indicate there's not much else here. Even so, I don't want to take the cross river penalty if I don't have to, and since the weather's clear, we can we can get here this turn, and we'll try to take back Fort Scott. Let me throw that up into all-out attack. I think when this pop-up says this is the only rule of engagement that will enable an assault on forts even while still on the move. So hopefully that will allow Ricketts to still assault Fort Scott here should this 3rd Texas be elsewhere. And I think we'll take this 2nd Indian Home Guard. I'm sure it's just a militia unit. Yeah, it's a militia unit. Do we want to just leave him here? Let's see, we don't really have anything else going on. Why don't we move this Home Guard Indian unit to Mound City just in case this unit is getting some ideas about heading north. So we'll do that with him. We'll bring Ricketts around. With Lion here, if I recall, we came here to Tahlequah. Sorry, those of you living in Oklahoma that I'm butchering these names, but I'm from Wyoming, so we don't know these things. We were going to take Lion. We came over here. We took this place. In fact, I think Price or whatever unit was here retreated ahead of us. And there was a depot here, and we destroyed it. And now Lion is falling back on Fayetteville to protect that. This was essentially a raid. We're going to bring this division down, join with Lion, and then come out and attack Fort Gibson. Do we want to actually retreat and then advance again? That seems to look rather wasteful. What's our supply? Our supply is good. Our supply is full. We've got scads and scads of supply. What if we have a brigade here, a brigade of volunteers, militia, but that's enough to hold that until help should arrive. So we'll call off this movement, and instead let's do this. Let's bring this division and Lion to meet up here in Edwards Indian Territory. We're going to take 6 days to get there. So the remainder of the 15 days, that will be 9 days, we'll spend recovering some cohesion, whatever cohesion losses we'll have. Join these together next turn, and we'll go after Fort Gibson. That's the plan. Let's see what else we have here. I suppose I should just keep hitting that little E key. Okay, there's these guys. We're going to leave them on sentry status. Let's see. Now with this, okay. Now Carson here, his cohesion is way down on this force. So we're under 50% of our normal power here, and our supply is less than optimal. What's our supply? We've got, next turn we're out of supply. I think since we're getting Canby in here I think it was like 1 day. I don't know if there's any benefit to holding this siege here on Fort Thorne. I think we'll have Carson fall back here and meet up with Canby, who's bringing along a whole bunch of supply. He's got 10 turns of supply plus. So let's take I believe if you take him off of, if you're on a defensive posture while you're moving, I think you take less cohesion hits than if you were on offensive. Not that it matters a great deal, but I am going to put this guy down to a defensive posture and have him fall back here. We'll join up with Canby, get resupplied, and then next turn, once we're combined, we will come down here and clean up this little rat's nest. of Confederates. This force, what am I going to do with him? I am going to continue to ignore them for a while. Okay, so what do we have here? We have 3 New York brigades. Are these? These aren't all. Yeah, these are just regular. We have a line infantry and a conscript infantry each. Okay, so that's what these are. We'll put these together and send them down here to Washington. And or actually, let's send them all the way to McClellan by rail. And since they've got conscripts in them, I'd like to have those trained up before we move them into the line. But we'll have to see how that goes. Is this the same batch? No, this is another batch. Oh, somebody must have built a whole lot of infantry at some point here. Okay, so we're going to have enough to build another few divisions here. Oh, here's our cavalry force. Let's still target the those Indians directly. We're not moving into the region. We're targeting that enemy unit, so we should follow him wherever he goes. We have a brigade here. Oh, yeah, this is we must have built a whole lot of infantry here at some point. I think that was right after that entire corps got wiped out. I think is when that happened, if I recall. So that's good. We're going to build up our forces that we need to have here for possibly we could take Richmond this year. So that's kind of the goal. So we'll get our forces built up, see what we can do about Jackson. Maybe we can just contain him while we get a few corps to just go after Richmond here. I'm going to have to see what I see when I get there. Contrabands, there's nothing to fix, so they'll just hang out. This was just our leader pool. McClellan, again, he's just sitting here building divisions and training and whatnot. What's his radius? Pretty small. $15. So we should have 12, 16. We should have 16 here. We're reduced by 1 because McClellan has a command rating of 1. His strategic rating of 1. You subtract 2 from that, and that's the modification to the corps headquarters. So each of our corps are going to be reduced by 1 beyond what they would be otherwise. Okay. There's no. Okay, that's good. That's good. He's moving that way. He'll sit tight. Johnston or Fremont was going to sit tight. Let's see. This was cavalry. What's our military control look like here? We do have. This was Floyd, if I recall. No, this is. Who was this? I don't recall. That's Floyd up there. These guys were here bringing up the military control, if I recall, and that is now up. So what if we were to go scout something out here with these guys? What if we were to put these guys, say, here, get to here, and then we'll cut this railroad next turn and cut one of these big east-west arteries here. We'll put them on evade combat. All right. Franklin. I think we're all just going to sit here in that area and stare at Jackson for a while and see what he does. Okay, so this is Floyd's force, and I thought we were coming around him, and he sneaked around behind us, if I recall exactly what's going on here. And then this force is heading back there. This force, I think, let's take him off of that. Let's just leave them as the garrison of Charleston. And then the cavalry unit, supply situation is not great. What's the supply here? 6, 2. I think we're going to send them back to Charleston as well. Kirk's Brigade. Okay, so this looks like another big chunk of P. Sheridan. Where's P. Sheridan going? Oh, he's heading to down here. And this artillery, those are waiting. This one's good, though. Why don't we... What are you doing? Why don't we send this force with Sheridan to go join up with this army. Take that horse artillery with them. Let's combine those just because. Alright. This is just a volunteer regiment. This looks like a good garrison for Staunton. We have some artillery here in Ohio. I think this probably means it's headed for this army. Let's send them here by rail. We have Pope's unit. Okay, this is interesting. Now, this unit here got smucked. Can we see how smucked he got? Gage, Nebraska. That's way the hell up there. Kansas, what is this? This is Alexander, Illinois. What was that? Walker. Oh, it's here. Oh, it was up. It was here. This one, Chester, Illinois. So, this comprised the 3rd Division, and it had 1,100 cohesion, and it took 770. So it's down to maybe a third or a quarter of its cohesion. Pope is down because he was in that fight, so his is pretty low. Especially, yeah, these two divisions, they're quite low. They probably ought to just stand on the defensive here and let Grant go after him here. So Grant is going to come in here with offensive, and we should be able to actually, you know, let's put him on all-out attack because we know he's weak. So let's do that. Let's do that. What's Grant looking like? Grant is a 2. Oh my gosh. Oh, he's a 2 because he's being negatively impacted by Halleck. I betcha. Okay. Now I think he would actually perform better if I made him an independent unit outside of this army, but that seems rather gamey to me, so I'm not going to do it. Morton's Brigade in Springfield. Apparently we just left this as a garrison, looks like. Okay. Halleck's, he's the army force here. I think he's just going to sit tight in Paducah and hope nobody comes here and tries to hurt him. We need to get some force back down here into this region. As soon as this is dealt with, we get these guys back down here. Now, if nothing else, this division they sent back here, even if it does get wiped out, it caused me to stop whatever I was doing down here and throw everybody back up. It may have been an overreaction on my part, but it certainly worked. Okay, now we took Suffolk and we were going to try to go after Norfolk here, and we decided that this guy was maybe a little stronger than we thought he was. Let's leave Butler here on a defensive stance, defensive posture. His cohesion is at about 50%, which means we should be sitting here over about 600 strength, and I think we'll be probably in reasonable shape to take this guy on once we let our cohesion recover, although marching through the swamp is just going to be a bear however we do this. Alright. Buell's army. What is Buell's? Buell, you got a lot of leaders here. Presumably some of these are actually divisions. Yes, they are. Gilbert. Let's see. There was a force came up here and smacked us around pretty good. We were down here in, I believe, Gallatin, weren't we? And we came down here and something came across the river and smacked us. Was it, I don't remember what force it was. And we came back here to recover, and they kind of disappeared on us here. I think what we're going to do with this force, I know we do have some additional forces coming down by rail, so we'll let them catch up, and then we'll see what we're going to do with Buell. Contrabands, that Pope. Yeah, we decided what we're doing with Pope. McDowell's just hanging. Banks is hanging. Sumner's hanging. It's hanging. Okay, let's go through our naval forces. Now these units here, I would like to keep them in place, even though they're about half cohesion here. This one is. Oh, both of them are. They're low in cohesion. They're low in... this one's not too bad. This one's kind of low in ammunition. But what I want to use them for is to block any chance that this unit has of crossing over into crossing the river here. So that's what their primary purpose is this turn. Walker could still escape towards the north, but I don't think that does him a great deal of good. He could potentially escape down here, but I can't imagine he's going to get down here quicker than Grant's 4 days to get to there. So, blockade flotilla number 1. Was this something we had brought back to recover cohesion from our main blockade box? Or is this something we just built? I don't recall. Where was he at? He was in, there he is. Well, his cohesion is not maximum. Let's leave him 1 day, or 1 turn, just to increase his cohesion and then move him down. Farragut's force, we were going to sit here and wait for our next whatever it is we were going to do with him. Porter, we looked at him already. Foote as well. Warden. Oh, this is our blockade. He'll just sit tight there. We are in Fort Monroe recovering cohesion. Oh, 2 more ironclads here. Let's put them with the other ones and let them recover their cohesion as well, because they were just built units, so their cohesion did not start off at as high as it at full. It needs to recover a bit. Transports. Oh yeah, that's what we were doing. Look at the cohesion is quite low on a lot of our blockade squadrons here, so we need to be cycling them in and out. Maybe that's what we were doing with that of the blockade squadron. Okay, that sounds reasonable. Porter's force sitting here. He needs to be cycling some of them guys out too, I think. Even the merchant ships are down. Those guys will leave there. Blockade squadron down here needs to be recovered. Do we have one of them off here in the Keys? Is that what we were doing with one of them? No, there is not one here. Where'd he go? Looks like I'm running over time because I'm jabbering too much. Okay, so this guy here, I think we just sent him off to recover and he just came back. So let's take the 2nd squadron here and bring them to Fort Jefferson to recover. And that's it. What did we want to do? Well, I'm over time here because I spent too much time talking. We need to do our production. We need to do our decisions. So I'm going to put a cut in the video here. Call this episode to a close, and in the next episode I will continue on with where we're out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.